Shalom, call halal Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of GMS, including the elders that came before them that taught us the truth. And shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word of truth and in sincerity, the hopeful elect tabernacle of David. All right, so this is just a quick lesson going into this devil, going back to the smallpox blankets that he used on Gad. All right, he's got an age-old thing with biological warfare. So we'll start right here at Sirach 12 and 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. Okay? And he's going to come to your country and set up a tent and say, I got these vaccinations for you. Let me heal you. You're dying. Right? First they'll bring the bug in. They'll release the bug, right? Like they've been doing for years. And then they'll come in with a needle and say, hey, I got this will help. This will heal you. Never trust thine enemy. Though he humble himself and go crouching, take good heed and beware of him. All right? And I'm going to make this real quick, Salakia. So I typed in, I typed this in, measles and cholera in Sudan. Not how soon, and this is what pops up. You got the Dabu pops right up, right? 25,000 in one day. That's probably why it went straight to the top. But anyway, if they weren't pushing this whole narrative, we wouldn't know about it. So they're pushing it hard. This only came out, what, a day ago? This is 7 years. To show you how long they've been at it. One day, high biohazard risk in Sudan after laboratory seized. Who warned? What is WHO? Why is WHO pushing this out? WHO is the World Health Organization. All right, so huge biological risk after Sudan fighters occupy laboratory housing measles, polio, and cholera. What is the World Health Organization doing everywhere? Okay, not just throughout Africa proper. They're over there in the Ukraine, right, with biolabs. They're everywhere. They're said to be, America has, Slovakia, 300 biolabs all over the earth, and I'm sure that there's more than that. But what are they doing? What have they been doing for you? What is Bill Gates doing? Is Bill Gates over there saving people? No, not out of his own mouth. He's telling you he's about eradicate. He's look at this. Americans rushing to flee Sudan as ceasefire breaks down. Now, what are they bringing? This is yesterday. This is yesterday. Who warns of biological risk after Sudan? What are they bringing? What kind of scenario is this? See, this isn't about a bioweapon. This is about the Americans rushing to flee, coming home. Oh, we got to get out of here. But what are they bringing back? They're bringing a little gift. Why? Because Sudan fighters take deadly. See, this is just like what happened in Wuhan, China. Well, after Wuhan, then after somebody ate some bat wing soup, right? Then that thing spread all over the world. Well, they're bringing it right back. According to this, you see how this devil worked? ABC News, right? Channel 4, look at all these news. Reuters, biohazard warning, right? Sky News Australia, risk of biological, and now they're sending them all home with what? Come on, man. Look at this. After laboratory was seized, why did they seize the lab? We know what you guys are in there doing. What is the real story? You understand? 23 hours ago, one day. How long have they been doing this? Give me one where they're just shooting. Look at this. 2 years ago. This campaign 7 years ago. How long has this been going on? Now you got two types of so-called black people 8 years ago. Cholera. How long has this campaign been going on? You got Africans, the sons of Ham, and then right next to them you got an Israelite, the son of Shem, right? You got Shemites and you got Hamites standing right next to each other. You can't tell who is who. They know. These Hamites, they know who they. When you see this, that's a Hamite, that's an Israelite. And I'm speaking in general terms. Oh, you can't say that. Come on. Come on now. If you know what's really going on, if you know who the campaign is against, okay? What does this say? You can't say that. I can say this. I can read the scriptures verbatim. Psalm 83 and 4. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against it. So these Edomites that come in, bringing this shit, okay, who is this? Is this an Israelite working on bioweapons to kill other Israelites, or is this a Hamite working on? Who did he confederate with? Well, he's part of this. He's part of the WHO. Okay, so this guy, this Hamite, and this devil, they're confederate with each other to do what? To do this. See, I'm not saying it. The scriptures are saying it. Where does it say that? Well, there's the so-called white man, and there's the Hamite right there. There's the Hamite. There's the Hamite. I'm not saying it. They have has consulted together. What does it mean to consult? Well, you got a consultation down at the clinic. No, it means that they came together to do what? To cut them off from being, cut us off. Let us cut them. Who is them? That Israel may be no more in remembrance. Okay, so it's not me saying it, the scriptures. Oh, you twisting the scripture. No, you have no understanding of what the scriptures are saying. Okay? Anyway, let's watch one of these. This is ridiculous. Okay. How is it that, and did they even capture a biolab? They knew what was there. These fighters knew what was there. They went and captured it. To do what? To do what with it? To spread it on their enemies? No, that doesn't make a damn bit of sense. Well, we captured the biolab. Now we're going to go use these pathogens on our enemies, and it's not going to affect us at all. That doesn't make a goddamn bit of sense. This is the devil letting you know round 2 of a pandemic is coming. All right. Is this we on?
But it is caught in the conflict. As of the
Sudan War biolab capture. Who raises alarm? Palki Sharma. First post 1 day ago. Listen to this crazy.
The conflict in the Sudan has taken a dangerous turn. A biolab is caught in the crossfire. We're talking about the National Public Health Laboratory. Experts call it a potential germ bomb. That's because this lab has disease samples. It stores pathogens related to measles and cholera. This lab is situated in Khartoum, the capital of Sudan. Most of the fighting is happening here.
The same plagues that have been plaguing the region going back how long? 50, 60 years, eradicating large numbers of who? What they're over there doing. Okay, we got this thing, it's almost race specific. It's not going to kill the Hamites, but it's going to kill those Israelites. What was Vladimir Putin over there? Oh, they're over here making race specific bioweapons in the Ukraine.
The city has turned into a war zone, and the World Health Organization is worried. The WHO has raised an alarm. Now, it's not clear which group controls the lab, but it.
What? Now, it's not clear what. All we know is that some group came in and they controlled the lab. We don't know who. That's not important. What's important is that you understand that very soon this thing is going to spread.
Caught in the conflict. As of this afternoon, lab technicians were not being allowed to go inside. There have been power cuts at the facility, and this could be very dangerous. The ceasefire is still in place, but it's being only partially observed. Countries are racing to get their citizens out, and this includes India. The ceasefire was supposed to last for 3 days. 2 days are already gone. One is left. It may not be enough time to secure the biolab in Khartoum. And the last thing the world wants is a mishap in such a laboratory. The last time a lab was compromised, it most likely triggered a global pandemic. The Khartoum lab is.
Wait a minute. What was that? Now, who put this together and why did they link these two things together like that? What they're telling you, right, with this ridiculous attempt to blame it on the black people in Africa, right? It's a ridiculous attempt. It's the same thing. They completely linked it to Wuhan.
The last time a lab was compromised, it most likely triggered a global pandemic. The Khartoum lab is different from the Wuhan lab, but this too has sensitive material. There is serious.
And it's about to trigger a global pandemic. Isn't that what she just said?
Risk of a biohazard. A WHO representative believed to be in the country has released this warning through a voice message.
So when the electricity shut down and with no technician taking care of all these, the risk of biological hazard is high in Khartoum because of the occupations of the lab by one of the fighting parties. It is not really necessary to say which party.
What? What? It is not really necessary. What? What the fuck is that? You see? See what gets lost in translation? You got this guy, he speaks English to the best of his ability. What is this? It is not really necessary to say which party. What the fuck has that got to do? Why is it not necessary? Why? Okay, now let's go to this is just crazy. Let the rest of this play.
The risk is high. That is the WHO's assessment. And you don't really need an expert to tell you that. It's evident. You can't leave dangerous substances unsecured in the middle of a war.
Who did that? Isn't these guys' fault? It's these black people. Here it is, you got two different black people in the region. Who is it?
Especially in a city like Khartoum.
It doesn't really matter. They're black.
Look at where the lab is situated. Right in the heart of Khartoum, it is surrounded by critical infrastructure. The city's main airport is nearby, also Sudan's military headquarters. It is dangerously close to the lab. And a lot of the fighting is happening here. At least 14 health facilities have already been attacked, and now this lab is at risk.
Okay. Now let's do something here. Let's take a look at the comments just in time for the re-election. Joe will be campaigning from the basement again. Heartbreaking to see Africans eliminating Africans, their own brothers. Is that right? This is somebody that doesn't understand who's down there, who's on the ground. Okay, when you see people fighting in Africa, most likely it's Israelites being killed by Hamites. Okay, who put us on them boats? All right. Here we go again. Ready for round 2 of the WEF Who Games. There you go. See, people are wise, right? On a personal note, Palki. Oh, wow. All is well if who the WHO has raised an alarm. We should be worried when WHO comes out and says all is well, right? It says, why who maintain a lab in the midst of an unsafe country? That too a biolab. Wait, who thought it would be an intelligent idea to put a biolab smack dab in the middle of one of the most unstable regions in the entire world? Well, depending on how much gold is there and who you got to lay down to get at the gold. This is a USA lab, one of many around the world, including Ukraine, and interest in Wuhan. Just saying exactly what I said. That explains the presence of U.S. troops in Sudan. It is not really necessary to say which party. I find that suspicious and concerning. Exactly. Exactly. If you have eyes, this whole thing stinks to high heaven. Whiskey Tango Foxtrot is how you say what the F. WTF in the military. What was a biolab doing in Sudan in the first place? They were killing Israelites. Psalm 83. If this is the future of the planet, I believe that even Indian children should have medical training even in high school. La 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 la. This is a new normal, a world with bioweaponry and biohazards. What does that mean, bioweapon? That means you refined the pathogen to the level of a weapon. There is no food, but there are such labs. Let's see. All right, let's look at so this is probably international, watching Palki here. Let's take a look at Dabu, and let's look at his, not the information, but
Can't go?
let's take a look at his comments. What a great idea to put a biolab in a place like that. It's brilliant. Prayers up for all of us. It's just nonstop. See, people see right through this bullshit. Never let a disaster go to waste. I'm sure it's all a coincidence. See, people know. Sure is. Exactly my thoughts. Yep, just some accident. Now go to their holes and watch us die. Come back in a year. See? Oh, yeah, it's totally a coincidence. A coincidence. I learned months ago that 3/4 of the military equipment that we gave to Ukraine actually went to Africa. No one knew what was about to kick off, but I think now we do. I wonder if the controllers will claim this riot is how Marburg was released, because most of us know that's their next move. Most of us know. Do you see these replies? What are the replies to that reply? Yep. Where it goes may not be where it stays. Makes sense. Oh, yeah, like the movie World War Z. They talked about it being polio, and I think they said it would come from either Africa or Brazil. Well, you got Americans jumping on planes, running up out of there. What are they going to say? All they got to do is release it right here and say, oh, it came from over there. Salakia. All right, so you get the point. Pestilence. They can't even build homes or cities, but they have biolabs. To the devil. Anyway, yeah, this devil, uh, yeah. This devil knoweth that he hath but a short time. Anyway, let's get Matthew 24. And 7, for nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. There shall be famines and pestilences. There it is. Okay, now, let me read this. And there shall be famines, comma, and pestilences, comma, and earthquakes, comma. If that comma wasn't there, it would be, diverse places would be talking about earthquakes. But because the comma is there, it's talking about all of these. It's talking about famines in diverse places, pestilences in diverse places, and earthquakes in diverse, not just earthquakes. See, people tie those two together, but that comma separates them, and it goes to all three of them. Okay? So, if there's pestilence in the Sudan right now, and it's coming this way, kind of like the shutdown, just more of the same. All right? Let's get this. Who's doing this? John 8:44. Ye are of your father, the devil, so-called, well, the Edomite, let's call him the Idumean. And the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer. This bioweapon, you pick up a weapon, you kill somebody for no reason, you're a murderer. This is called mass murder. He was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth. This is not the truth. There's no truth here. They're just projecting their intentions, which is to, where's that pointing at? Right here. All right, what are they doing? Well, they're supposedly sending home the citizens. All they got to do is say, hey, let's do what? Well, let's tell a lie. There is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. Hey, well, the pathogens got out. They fell into the hands of it doesn't matter who, but just know that they're on their way back to the U.S. See? 16,000 U.S. citizens on their way back with a pathogen, with pestilence, carrying diseases. I wonder if anybody in the comments is going to say that. Yep, they're going to bring back.
The race for foreign nationals, including 16,000 American citizens, to escape Sudan is growing.
Now, not just going back to who? What did he say? How many different countries are they taking it back to?
American citizens to escape foreign nationals, include
Foreign nationals.
race for foreign nationals, including 16,000 American citizens, to escape Sudan is growing more urgent tonight as a 3-day ceasefire between two warring generals is already breaking down.
And it doesn't matter what the warring generals are.
Some evacuation flights did manage to depart, arriving in Greece and Italy.
Greece and Italy, keep your eye on those places when the measles break.
A Saudi ship evacuated citizens from 12 countries, including the United States. But seats are few, so many are braving the roads. With the U.S. Embassy evacuated, Americans are largely left to try to find their own way out. We've been following American travel writer Lakshmi Parthasarathi, who made it out of Khartoum, relying on wits and the kindness of strangers.
Yesterday, I fled Khartoum and hitchhiked south. The city was complete mayhem when I left. There were power cuts, no running water, no access to cash. We saw villages that had clearly been devastated by the war.
The capital is becoming more chaotic and dangerous. There's a late report tonight that a Sudanese-American doctor has been killed, and the WHO warns that a militia has taken over a lab containing deadly pathogens, including cholera, measles, and polio.
Why would they say that in the same? This has nothing to do with it. Did you see that? This is about Americans and everybody else leaving, getting on planes, right? And then, see how the devil works? This is what this is about. C-130 rolling down the strip. You understand? And at the very end, they say, here's what they're bringing. Here's what they're bringing with them.
The capital is becoming more chaotic and dangerous. There's a late report tonight that a Sudanese-American doctor has been killed, and the WHO warns that a militia has taken over a lab containing deadly pathogens, including cholera, measles, and polio.
Crazy. And look at the look on this devil's face.
Measles and polio.
All right, I'm going to shut it down. Salakia. Wow. We're at the end of this thing. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to get one of my favorite scriptures right here. This is 1 Peter 4. 1 Peter 4 and 7. The end of all things is near. Like the sheriff. The sheriff is near. But the end of all things is at hand. Be ye therefore sober and watch unto prayer. All right, so just keep your eye on, certain things. Keep your eye on that situation. See what they're going to try to make hay with. All right, with that, we hope they we're edifying you, brothers and sisters. Shalom.